What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the stack. Welcome back. If you've been here before, I'm NeonMushroom. Teferi Temporal Pilgrim. You remember I dropped a video about this card about a week ago. Bam, here it is. He's right here. Teferi Temporal Pilgrim is a blue planeswalker that I'm very excited about in Standard, Pioneer, and to some extent Modern, but not as much. And Teferi Temporal Pilgrim says whenever you draw a card, put a loyalty counter on it. For 0 loyalty, you draw a card, aka it's a +1. -2, you create a 2/2 Spirit Illusion with Vigilance that shares Teferi's ability, where whenever you draw a card, it gets bigger, but it's a creature, so it's in the form of +1/+1 counters as opposed to loyalty. And then the -12 is a Turbo Cyclonic Rift. What are we doing? We're going to play Arena. We're going to play Arena, and we're going to play Arena on Explorer ranked ladder, and we're playing blue-black control. A little bit of a preface to why we're doing that. Don't shake, microphone. Preface to why we're doing that. We're going, me and the boys, you know all the boys who are going, me, Calvin, Iden, Guy, Foley, Wayne, Wes, and Chris, Shavers. We're all headed to the NRG in Chicagoland, a little bit north of Chicago, Thanksgiving weekend. So if you want to check us out, I know you're going to be there, Natabawa. Come by and say hi if you're from the area or if you're going to be there anyway. But we're playing the Pioneer 10K event and the Modern 5K event on the following Sunday. And so we're going to have some paper games for you as we get ready for this event. We're going to be doing some testing. I figured maybe we'll just make some videos out of the testing sessions as well. But what I'm playing, or what I'm looking at playing right now, is a deck with this Teferi in it, and it's blue-black control. I'm not going to go through every single card in this blue-black control deck, because I think that would be exhausting, and the deck list is in the description below if you want to check it out card for card. But to just breeze over it, the deck is meant to support Teferi Temporal Pilgrim, and it's an amalgamation of card draw, counter magic, and removal. Fatal Push is great, goes well with Fabled Passage and Field of Ruin in order to actually get the Revolt mechanic active. Real quick, this ring light's burning circles into my eyes, so don't mind if I just cosplay as what I truly am, which is the Paragon of Cringe, and wear my sunglasses inside. We've got, Sinister Sabotage is a key counterspell, fills up our graveyard, which would be better if we were playing actual Pioneer, but we're playing Explorer. We don't get Dig Through Time, we don't get Jace Vryn's Prodigy, which is a shame, because they're not on this platform yet, because evidently it's really hard to program these pre-existing cards into the game for some reason. But Narset is still good. We got some other Planeswalkers. Extinction Event is a board wipe. Our sideboard's cool. It has Kalitas and Sheoldred in it. Those cards are all sweet. If you want more detail, maybe I'll make some more content around this. I'm definitely going to be playing this in paper as well. But if you're interested in this content, let me know in the comments below. And before we get into the actual gameplay portion, do you know that there's a way that you could become a lord or a lady? This is the established titles ad. You'll notice we've been doing that. Ad.
This video is sponsored by Established Titles. Established Titles is a fun and novel way to preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland while helping global reforestation efforts. It's based on a historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lards, lords, and ladies in English. So when you buy a title pack, which give at least a square foot of land, they bestow it to you with the title Lord or Lady. This one's mine. I'll do it over here because that's where the camera's set up. You can see right here, yeah, right there. That says Lord Trigger, and all the way down here, I got the unique plot number, right? All of this is proof that I'm a lord. They plant a tree with every order, working with charities such as One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future to support global reforestation efforts. And in exchange for helping this green initiative, you get to officially put the title of Lord or Lady on your credit card or plane tickets, making this a great last-minute gift. The first 200 people that buy title packs using the link in the description will be given plots next to ours, effectively making us neighbors. So while a title pack technically does not give you the right to rule, nor does it give you any benefits of being a part of any royal family, if enough of us become lords or ladies, we can all band together, start our own little stack kingdom, right? And then we can start the official stack royal court. I've researched this bit for 3 hours last night. You're gonna have to suffer with me. I'm still the king, obviously, but I've also decided I'm the master of ceremonies. If you get in now, you can get grand titles such as Cupbearer or Master of the Horse. But the Royal Fool is still our mod Matteo. The Royal Confessor, I've decided, is our mod Sunny Slash because I'm very funny. Adrian is the Chapel Master because I'm a man of incredible foresight. Iden is the Almoner because I'm irony poison 3 layers deep. And Guy Scott, he has the official title of the Butler. If you go to their website to get in on their massive Black Friday sale, you can use the code LORDTRIGGR, that's LORD TTrgr, to get an additional 10% off. Go to establishedtitles.com/LordTrigger to get your gifts now and help support the channel.
Wow, what a great ad. Okay, so we're hopping in the ladder now. We're somewhere in mid platinum. So we usually try to work our way up to mythic in most seasons, but recently I've been playing less arena just because A, work's been busy, and B, Arena's not really the best platform to play Magic on, it turns out. It's not very good to its players. They did just add this new like gold pack system. Check out Pleasant Kenobi. Vince also knows Pleasant Kenobi's video on the internet, where he kind of talks about it, and I thought that was neat, but I don't think it saves them from what they've done badly. So we get to choose play. Our opponent is playing Yorion, something you don't get to do in Modern, but you can totally do in Pioneer and Explorer. And this hand is 5 lands, a 5-drop and a 4-drop. We're going to mulligan this immediately. This hand is arguably worse because it's a 1-lander, but we've got Consider. We can go into Narset with, we've got the black and blue on turn 1 for Fatal Push and stuff. So we're going to keep this, and I think we have to ship our Narset because we need land drops, and Narset's going to blaze us right past them because you can't take a land off Narset. Imagine that. And then our opponent could be in a number of decks like Fires of Invention. If you don't know what that is, don't worry, you'll see. Could be Blue-White Control. We'll see, but we're going to pay 2 life and pass the turn. If they play a creature, maybe we'll push it, but we're almost 10 out of 10 going to cast this Consider. If you can hear that, don't mind the jet taking off outside my house. So this first land's going to tell us a lot. It's a Ragran Trio, meaning they're probably like a Leyline Binding deck with Fires of Invention and stuff. So we'll Consider. We're going to ship anything but a land. We found a land. We get to draw for turn. Oh look, another land. This one also comes into play untapped. Okay, so that developed really well for us. We're going to try to just chain our spells until we can land a Teferi, and hopefully it doesn't get taken up by a Leyline Binding. Blue-black isn't a really good color pairing if you want to deal with enchantments, it turns out. But like most Arena players, our opponent is going to play very slowly. Maybe they're also recording content. I don't think I actually need to Consider yet. I'll hold it until I know what I need to draw, because I've already got my 3rd land drop. Now this turn I can go ahead and Consider to try to find my 4th land drop. A lot of people burn through their cantrips way too early, which is a sign of a player who maybe isn't as experienced. You don't need to cast all your spells when you have them. It's a good rule of thumb to cast your spells earlier than later, but like right now, if this top card isn't a land, but the next one is, I actually draw it. But this is a swamp, and we'll take our swamp, and then we'll draw for a turn, and we'll take a Watery Grave too. It's all good, baby. We're just going to put this Watery Grave into play tapped, try to counter a Fires of Invention, which is what it looks like they're going to do to us. And it's going to be awkward because Leyline Binding is quite good against our deck. We've got some ways to beat around it, but we need to fight things. So that's a Fable of the Mirror Breaker. I don't love that for us. Although I don't know if it's worth Sinister Sabotaging because I have the Fatal Push, and I need to find things to extend into with this Fatal Push. So I think we're going to let it resolve, and I'm just going to push the token that they make off of it, which is the 2/2 Goblin Rogue. Make some treasures. Not too fly with that, so I'm going to try to take it out now. That's Asparo's headquarters, so hopefully they don't have Spell Pierce. Hopefully they also don't have, what's it called? Mystical Dispute, but that's not usually main boardable. So I'm just going to drop this and see what happens. Please don't have it. Don't Spell Pierce my Teferi. Okay, they didn't Spell Pierce my Teferi. We're going to immediately minus the Teferi, I think, just because if they Leyline Binding my Teferi. Maybe I just want to replace the card now, though. Yeah, because if I make a creature, they're going to be able to deal with it, most likely. So I think I just want my card now. Yeah, and there's the binding. We do play Otawara in our deck, I think. If we don't, we'll have to go back and add it. I put this list together right before making the video. But Otawara is we also have Commit to Memory, so there are ways we can deal with that Leyline Binding. Worst case scenario is our opponent drops a Niv Mizzet on our head right now. Just a Wandering Mind. Why do they play Wandering Mind? What's going on here? They get Binding of the Old Gods. This is one of those weird, like, super clunky mid-range decks. So we drew our Shark Typhoon. That's not the worst thing in the world. Let's go ahead and shock this into play and just pass the turn. We'll hold up Sabotage, but at the end of the day, our real goal is to, like, end of turn Shark Typhoon for 4 or something. We could also Shark Typhoon for a number that blocks the Wandering Mind, but the Shark Typhoon also dies, so we can Fatal Push the Reflections. And I think that's not bad, so why don't we do that? We're going to go Shark Typhoon for 1. We're going to make an attempt to block this Wandering Mind. If it works, Revolt's turned on. We'll wait to see if they do anything before Fatal Pushing the Reflections, but if they don't do anything, we'll just Fatal Push the Reflections if this block works. Bink, bink. Because that Reflection's making copies of Wandering Mind, actual nightmare. They add Yoria into their hand. They're probably just going to pass, so I will gladly... Maybe I'll wait. I'll just Consider first. Because I know what we're looking for, basically. Sorin the Mirthless is a good role player here. We really want to draw a third, a 7th land so we can play Sorin and hold up the Sabotage, but we'll try. And then we're going to try to take out your Reflections of Kiki Jiki. They've got us on card advantage. They've got us on colored sources. That's a make disappear, but here's a Sorin. And the cool thing about Sorin is it's Sorin. We're going to make a 2/3. We did draw a make disappear, meaning we can cast this for casualty and counter their binding of the Old Gods. So that's pretty cool. Although another Leyline Binding is not great, but we just let it happen. We gotta let them cast all their Leyline Bindings. Them having 2 in the top like 12 cards of their deck when they have an 80 card deck is a little bit unlucky, but what can you do? Not much. Okay, now we're gonna make disappear, and we don't even need to casualty it. We're just gonna say no. And then we're gonna start hitting them with this while holding up 2 copies of Sinister Sabotage, and go for the, what is this, a 9-turn clock? Let's do it, baby. Gain some life back, swap life totals real quick, a little bit of switcheroony. A little bit of you're at 16 and I'm at 18, a little bit of a little bit of you're gonna die because I got the clock. It would be really funny if they were forced to Leyline Binding my 2-3 at some point. I wonder what their game plan is here. It can't be to cast Yorion. If they do, I'll just go for the Throat It. We're totally okay with that. But like most controller players, they're taking their sweet time. We're gonna Sinister Sabotage Enigmatic Incarnation. I had a sneaking suspicion they were playing Fires. And this is just, it's a really good one. Don't worry about it. We're not gonna get too far into what our opponent's deck is doing. We're more trying to show off Teferi than like show you how this format's played. But we found Commit, which means we can like commit a Leyline Binding at some point. Although I am gonna wait to do it till end step so I can continue to interact with them. And we probably want to commit the Leyline Binding that's on the Teferi, so we can start to draw cards with the Teferi and try to set up a counterspell for when they recast their Leyline Binding, which is maybe going to be a little bit tricky. They're going to cast Omen of the Sea, and I just couldn't care less if I tried. They're just trying to set up their Yorion being really good here, which is fine. The commit's really nice because if I ever find my Narset, I can lock them out of the game. It's not a true lock because I don't have Gyroreet Sanitarium, which is the card that makes you guys loot. And if you remember, Narset says you can only draw 1 card a turn. So if they're Hellbent, you can make them loot in their upkeep and they skip their draw step. But we don't get to play that because it's not in this format. It's not in Explorer, even though it definitely should be. So now they're going to Yorion here. There's things I could do, I suppose. Yeah, this is all fine. I'm going to let them resolve their Yorion. I'm going to let them choose their targets. That gets exiled. Then I'll let them go to their end step. I'll let this resolve. Now, I want to let them do their Omen thing first so they can't immediately put a Leyline Binding back into their hand off of the Omen of the Sea because they're going to scry 2 and draw a card. But they draw their card, and then I am now going to commit this and try to get my Teferi back into play. Hopefully I don't have another Leyline Binding. That would be pretty miserable, but we'll see. So my Teferi is back into play. They've got a 3rd Leyline Binding. That's pretty miserable, but we will go for the Throat the Yorion. Get that out of play. We're just going to continue to pressure them, I guess. This is worst case scenario. 3 Leyline Bindings is actual Spooky Town. Extinction Event's pretty bad. We're going to get in for 2. I wish we drew a land there, because then, well, I guess no, a land doesn't let us hold up Sinister Sabotage, but we're going to keep hitting him. We're going to try to trade off this last Sinister Sabotage before we finally, ultimately, probably have to cast Memory, because we need to fill our hand back up, if I'm being honest. Enigmatic? No, we cannot let them resolve Enigmatic Incarnation ever. Because what they'll do is they'll sacrifice Leyline Binding with the Enigmatic Incarnation, and then they will go get Agent of Treachery, and we will promptly lose the game, Magic the Gathering. Now, they're on a 2-turn clock here, which is interesting. So, like, there's a chance we're just supposed to, like, hope they don't have a 3rd Enigmatic Incarnation and get busy. Like, just attack them for 5 and make them do something about this 2-3. Maybe cast the next Leyline Binding. I think I like that. So, it really exposes us, unfortunately, but I think I do like the idea of just getting in there. I'll also take one of the Enigmatics out of their deck. Because if I do have to cast this Memory, they're going to shuffle their graveyard. And it's the 4th fucking Leyline. You gotta be kidding me. Susan Wojcicki, why? 80 card deck. Yorion says you always have it, though. Alright, the Scab God, sure. What if I exiled everything with an odd mana cost? Get out of here, the Scarab God. You don't know. We're like super dead. We've got no cards in hand, and like in order to buy back into this game, we're gonna have to cast Memory, which is like not great. The Wandering, yeah, we gotta be close to dead here. Don't try this at home, kids. If we're gonna go up against decks that draw all 4 copies of Leyline Binding, we're not gonna make it out alive. Sure. Knight of Autumn, why not? Gonna make it bigger? No, they're gonna gain 4 life. All right, let's fetch. Unless this draw is absolutely cracked, we're just going to cast Memory and see what happens. Shark Typhoon's not bad, but their Leyline Binding's just going to deal with it. Here's my Memory. I'll let them draw 4 and I'll draw 6. Okay. We did not draw Sinister Sabotage, which is not great. We will play this Castle Vantress, and we will pass the turn. My hand is not set up very well. We have an Extinction Event, so we can at least take out their odd creatures. And their leyline bindings are all in play, but like if they just jam an enigmatic incarnation here, we're gonna hit the concede button so fast. That's a fable. Well, it's not enigmatic incarnation, so I guess I'm not gonna hit the concede button. What else do you got, buddy? Shock that in. Okay. Do you have enigmatic? That's a wandering mind. Sure. I mean, this extinction event on odds is gonna be really good, I suppose. They're gonna pick up a Fires of Invention. We're gonna cycle this Fetid Pools. Yeehaw. We're gonna cycle this Sensor. Try to fill this graveyard up for a little search for Ascanti. Alright, this is just happening. Extinction event naming odd. We're gonna 3-for-1 them, which is about the best we can do right now. And then we've got, what, 3 in the bin? Let's go ahead and consider now. Alright, we'll bin that. That'll be good later. Alright, cool. Find a land drop, play it on blue. We'll go ahead and go for the... We don't care about their mana advantage at this point. So that doesn't actually matter. Maybe we'll just jam Search for Ascanta, hold up Negate for Fires of Invention, and just like pray. Just pray they don't have their 4th Leyline Binding still. I could have played Narset to stop the loot effect, but like I wouldn't have been able to activate Narset, then they could attack it down. Don't love that. Hopefully they try to cast like an Enigmatic Incarnation or a Fires of Invention where I can just like negate it. Do you have a counterspell? No. Okay, cool. Love that for me. Now they can attack, make a treasure, jam Enigmatic, sacrifice one of those. Probably the one with my Teferi under it. Go get Agent of Treachery. Nope, just an Omnath. Okay. Well, we can kill an Omnath. You got a land drop? You got to make so much mana? Alright, just gonna gain 4 life. What's up here? We don't want Center. Get out of here. Yeah, we'll transform that. Sheesh! Okay, Narset, gonna come in, hang out. Gotta go grab some spells. Fatal Push, not bad. Behold the Multiverse, medium. I could deal with one of the creatures, potentially I can deal with both creatures. I'm gonna grab Fatal Push. And I'm not gonna give them any opportunities here. I'm gonna go ahead and Fatal Push here. Go for the Throat here, and hold up Search for Ascanta activation. It's about the best we got. Of course I go to record the video where we show off Teferi, the new Teferi, and our opponent draws all 4 Leyline Bindings. Isn't that awesome? Alright, well if they have Enigmatic here, they don't know this yet, but I do just die. This Make Disappear will not counter the Enigmatic Incarnation. It's just another land. Maybe we wield them into just lands and they're in trouble. Maybe there is justice in this world. Path to the World Tree. Enters the bishop's base land, reveal it, and sacrifice it. Gain draw 2 cards to oppose this. I don't care about that. That's fine. You get to have Path to the World Tree. They're going to get a basic. We don't care about this. I think they already played their land for turn 2. Gloom Shrieker's gonna buy back a thing from their graveyard. I don't care about this. And even if I did, I couldn't interact with it, so it's fine. What are they gonna back? Omnath? What do you want, opponent? Yes, take your time. I hope they just cast this right now. Alright, we did it. We converted a Make Disappear on turn 45. Whoo! I guess that means we don't get to activate the search, but that's fine. Sinister Sabotage, not bad. Let's go ahead and activate Narset, try to get some more action. Sorin, sure. I like creatures. Here's a Sorin. I don't like that they're going to be making copies of Gloom Shrieker at all. Maybe that calls for something. I don't know. Let's start ticking up this Sorin because it can actually kill our opponent. We'll reveal that. Cool. Here's this. We could just like activate this and try to find a kill spell for Reflections, but we just passed up on the kill spell twice because I'm playing too quickly now. Fatal Push, sure. We can trigger our own revolt by sacrificing a Narset and activating this one. All right, we'll take another Narset, and then we'll Fatal Push the Reflections of Kiki Jiki. Get out of here, boy. All right, we fully tapped out. We have 2 active Planeswalkers. Is that good enough to beat whatever's happening to us? I don't know. This camera could probably be angled down a little bit more, like maybe like that. Is that too? Wait, I can go down. All right, they're gonna attack Narset. That leads me to believe they have no action. Oh, nope, they're just gonna hardcast Agent Treachery. Take my... What did they just take? Search for Ascanta? Okay. Hopefully I draw a Field of Ruin. We're probably dead. We're gonna give it one more draw step. Alright, let's activate this Sorin. I think Extinction Event on odds like the best thing I can do. Narset. Another one. trigger my own revolt. Ayo. Activate. Extinction event on odd? No. Well, that's a giant shark typhoon, like... Well, I don't know. Might not be bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Holding up Sinister Sabotage. I don't know, dude. Here, I'm gonna cast this. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know. But I need to try to win this game somehow. Oh, they're gonna cycle as Ketria Triumph. That's cool. You just get to do that. That's just part of the game. That's how it works. Yeah! Go ahead. Grab yourself one of those. I think our opponent's starting to panic. They really need a way to deal with the Shark Typhoon, but I think I made them shuffle their 4th Leyline Binding away, which is just so great. Ooh, but you can't draw the card because I have a Narset. Nice omen, dick. Oh, you could have killed the Narset first, but you didn't do that, did you? No, you didn't. Path to the World Tree? What do you even do? I don't care. It resolves. Yeah, you sure are getting your basics out of your deck. You're doing it. On the realist level, you are doing it. Alright, Field of Ruin. Great. Great. We're going to tick this Sorin up. We're just going to keep ticking Sorin up. I just want every card I can get access to. Extinction Event? Bet. Odd. I think so. What's Shark Typhoon? Even. Make a 4/4? One-sided board wipe? Bet. Oh, we might be cooking with gas now. I really don't want them to ever activate this again, so get out of here. Ooh. I thought that game was unwinnable, but we got him. Oh, wow. Okay, how do we sideboard in this matchup? Aether Gust seems to not be bad. It beats Enigmatic Incarnation. It beats Fires of Invention. It beats Omnath. Okay, I'm sold. A Mystical Dispute. Enigmatic Incarnation. Maybe some counter magic? I don't know if I'm as into that one. Thoughtseize, probably just really good here. Parasitic Grasp, Witch's Vengeance, I like my main game plan. I don't think I'm changing very much. Thought Distortion, I think, is a trap against this matchup because, like, they got so many creatures. If you don't know what Thought Distortion does, it kills other control decks. So we will be just trying to side these in unless I can find more. Censor's pretty bad already, and on the draw, it's even worse. Fatal Push is, like, fine. I don't want to overcut, but I think I'll trim 2 of them. I'll probably trim, like, I actually don't hate Extinction Event. Although maybe it's less necessary now that I have Aether Gust. Let's try to trim just like... I'm not going to trim Considers. I really want to leave all my Teferi synergies in here. Because that game wasn't even an example of why Teferi is so good. So we'll trim an Extinction Event and see how it works out. Although, maybe it's just like Shark Typhoon. It worked out really well there, but with all their Leyline Bindings, they probably won't draw all 4 of them in the first 2 turns every game. So I could see those getting awkward. So I think I'll actually cut a Shark Typhoon. We'll try that. Game 2. I have no clue how many games we're doing. I just wanted to test Teferi. So far, what I know about Teferi is it was good enough for them to snap Leyline Binding it and never let me... Game's easy.